Am I audible to you?
Yeah, madam.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Sir, with your permission, shall I start the session?
Yes, madam.
Yes. Okay. A very good afternoon to everybody. Respected director, sir, uh, all deans, associate deans, registrar, heads of department, faculty members, and my dear colleagues. A very warm and cordial welcome to all of you. On behalf of Maharashtra Institute of Technology, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, it's my privilege to welcome you all for today's pre-semester online briefing of commencement of the academic year 2026-27. The beginning of every academic session marks a new opportunity to inspire, innovate, and nurture our students. Today's meeting is an important step towards ensuring that academic planning, timetable, syllabus implementation, laboratory readiness, and student support system are in place before the class commences on 13th July 2026. The Dean Academics Office has been instrumental in planning and coordinating the academic activities for the upcoming semester. So I request Dean Academics, Dr. K.J. Sir, to brief all the faculty members on the academic preparedness, expectations, and important guidelines for the successful commencement of the new semester. Sir, the virtual platform is on yours.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, madam. Respected Honorable Director, Professor Dr. Nilesh Patil, sir, all the heads of the department, and my dear faculty members. As we are commencing the new academic session from Monday, it is our collective responsibility to ensure that every student starts the semester with a clear understanding of the academic system, institutional expectations, and the numerous opportunities available for their holistic development. I request all the heads of the department and the faculty members to conduct a one-day academic orientation program for all students of higher classes from second year onwards before the commencement of the regular classes. This program should be informative, interactive, and motivating, and should cover the various key aspects like academic regulations, curriculum structure, academic calendar, course registration, credit requirements, attendance policy, outcome-based education, examination and evaluation system, and academic progression. You should also discuss with the students like teacher guidance scheme, mentoring system, student support services, academic integrity, code of conduct, anti-ragging measures, and responsible use of artificial intelligence in teaching learning process. We should also give one main emphasis on internship, industrial training, minor and major projects, research opportunities, innovation, entrepreneurship, industry collaboration, IPR, skill development, placement preparation, career planning, higher education, and competitive examinations. For overall development of the student, we have also introduced the various verticals in our curriculum. So we need to discuss the opportunities under NEP 2020, including minor degree, honors degree, honor with research program, double minor, open elective, MOOC courses, NPTEL courses, covering their benefits, registration process, certification, and credit transfer provision. Also, we need to discuss the various activities pertaining to co-curricular, extracurricular activities, professional societies, student chapters, technical clubs, NSS, NCC, sports, cultural activities, innovation and incubation initiatives, and effective utilization of institutional facilities such as library, LMS, laboratories, and other student support services. In this regard, already Associate Dean Academics have sent the mail to all the heads of the department. So I request all of you to take note of this. Again, I request all the heads of department to prepare a department-wise orientation schedule and ensure the active participation of faculty members. Every faculty member should contribute by guiding students in their respective areas of expertise. The program should be completed before the commencement of the regular classes, that is from the Monday onwards. And department should maintain proper documentation, including the schedule, attendance, photographs, and brief report submission to the Dean Academics Office. I always believe in the concept working together works. So let us ensure that every student begins the new semester with clarity, confidence, discipline, and commitment to academic excellence. As per the directives received from the higher authorities, I have prepared this presentation regarding the theme commitment, quality, and student success. So it is our collective responsibility towards academic excellence and administrative excellence as well. Our focus should be on student-centric learning under NEP 2020 and strengthening the outcome-based education and quality assurance. At the same time, building a culture of professionalism and innovation and accountability that plays a vital role in the day-to-day activities. As we already know that we have already implemented the NEP 2020 in our regular curriculum. So let us understand the vision of NEP 2020. The vision of NEP 2020 is to develop the curriculum and pedagogy of the institute to reflect the true sense of knowledge, skills, values, and disposition among the students, learner to develop them as a global citizen. So here main emphasis that is given on the global citizen. At the same time, we need to understand the key features of our curriculum that we have implemented at our institute across all the disciplines. The most and primemost important key feature is holistic education, that is integration of multidisciplinary and the interdisciplinary approaches in the curriculum, promoting overall development of the students and faculties as well. Then the focus on skill development, that is emphasize on skill-based education, internship, and industry-linked projects leading to better employability. My dear faculty members, we try to understand is that academics, that is nothing but the backbone of any institute. Research, that is the byproduct, and the placement, that is the outcome. Then the next one, that is credit for co-curricular and extracurricular learning for overall development of the students. Means we have to motivate the students to learn through co-curricular and extracurricular activities while earning the credits. Then the next one, flexibility in the learning. This is very, very important aspect that we need to understand, that is of our curriculum, that is the implementation of flexible pathways, including multiple entry and multiple exit option and credit transfer system. Then the most important and vital key feature is that the integration of honor, minor, and research in study. That is nothing but adoption of honor, double minor, and honor with research as an additional degree programs for the bright students who are having the CGPA more than 7.5. Then the value-based education, that is nothing but inclusion of Indian knowledge system, ethics and values to promote cultural heritage and sustainability. And as we are following the best practices of outcome-based education, so next is that the focus should be on outcome-based education to ensure that learning outcomes align with industry and societal needs in order to develop the graduates as a global citizen. In short, transforming education to build future ready and value driven individuals. That should be our main motto. Now we need to understand the benefits of National Education Policy 2020. The National Education Policy has given main emphasis on student-centric learning, means focus on holistic development rather than memorizing information by repetition without understanding its meaning or the concepts. In this regard, already we are adopting the OB philosophy in our day-to-day teaching learning process. The Benjamin Bloom has defined the various levels of the learning, that is remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, evaluating and creating. So my request to all the faculty members, while framing the question paper, you should give main emphasis on higher orders of the thinking or learning. Then the next one, that is the flexibility in the curriculum, that multiple entry, multiple exit options and choice-based credit system or the courses. Then skill and industry-oriented education, that is emphasize on employability and practical skills in order to bridge the gap between industry and academia. Then multidisciplinary approach, that is the integration of engineering, science and humanity courses in the regular curriculum under NEP 2020. Then promotion of critical thinking and creativity encourages innovation and problem solving skills that should be inculcated in the undergraduate students, and improved teaching learning process that should be interactive one, discussion based and experiential learning. There are various types of the experiential learning, that is learning by doing, learning by reflecting, learning by thinking and learning by offline. And use of technology, that is digital learning, online resources and the modern tools. At the same time, as I said earlier, our byproduct, that is nothing but it is the research. So we have given here main emphasis on research and innovation focus, strengthening the research culture through various initiatives. And the next one, that is outcome-based education, focuses on measurable learning outcomes. In short, NEP 2020 transforms traditional education into a flexible, skill-driven, innovation-focused system aligned with global standards. Then this slide highlights the integration of National Education Policy 2020 and outcome-based education in curriculum at MIT, CSM. We have taken various key initiatives for implementation of National Education Policy and outcome-based education in our curriculum, that is student-centric and outcome-based curriculum aligned with NEP 2020 principles, multidisciplinary course structures introduced across all the programs in the institute, flexible curriculum design with choice-based and elective courses, define COs, POs, PSOs for courses as per OB framework and Washington Accord. Then skill and industry-oriented learning through projects, internship, industry collaboration, experiential and active learning methods adopted in teaching learning process in order to achieve the 11 PO, that is lifelong learning. Then continuous assessment system with the rubrics and outcome mapping. This is also very, very important part of teaching learning process. Then focus on research, innovation and critical thinking among the students and faculties as well. So the main outcome that should be achieved by adopting OB concept and implementing NEP 2020 policy in our regular curriculum is that development of competent, industry-ready, and skill-responsible graduates aligned with global education standards. Now, as a faculty of our institute, we need to understand the curriculum design process. That is very, very important part of our teaching learning process. Before revising any curriculum, we need to conduct the various surveys regarding these stakeholders. So identify industry requirements, stakeholder expectations, and societal needs. And based on that, we need to design the survey format for conducting the survey. After that, we need to define program educational objectives. My dear faculty members, here in the program educational objective, main emphasis that is given for the career and professional accomplishment of the graduates and attainment of program educational objective that can be calculated after 4 to 5 years of the graduation. So we need to define long-term career and professional accomplishment or achievements of the graduates. And the next one, program outcomes and course outcomes. Here, while defining the course outcome, we have to define the course outcome in a such a way that it should be smart one. Means it should be specific, measurable, attainable, time bound, like that. So specify measurable learning outcomes aligned with outcome-based education. Then curriculum structure and content. Selection of the courses, sequencing and credit distribution. That is again very, very important part of the curriculum design. Means while selecting the courses, we have to map all the courses with the POs of 11 POs that is applicable for the autonomous institute, that is tier 1. Then teaching learning methods, adoption of lectures, experiential learning, project-based learning. That is also very, very important for effective teaching learning processes and methodology. Then assessment and evaluation method. As we already know that we are adopting continuous assessment system. We are also using the rubrics in the laboratories, seminar, projects, then internship and outcome measurement. Then integration of National Education Policy 2020 principles. It should be flexible, multidisciplinary approach and skill-based education must be there. Then industry and stakeholder input. As I said earlier, before revising any curriculum, we need to conduct or we need to take the feedback from the various stakeholders like industry persons, experts, alumni, parents, faculty, students, like that. Then implementation strategy, academic planning, resource allocation and optimum utilization of available resources. That is very, very important part of teaching learning process. And faculty training, that is of course it is important part of the teaching learning process. Then the next one, that is review and continuous improvement. After reviewing the curriculum, we need to conduct the feedback analysis, attainment measures and curriculum revision methodology. So in short, it should be the first step, that is design, then define outcomes, then deliver, assess and improve. So this is please remember that learning, that is nothing but it is a continuous cyclic process. Then what are the key priorities for the academic year 26-27? The first one, effective implementation of the academic calendar. Then timely completion of syllabus with quality teaching. Student mentoring through teacher guardian scheme. As per the directives received from the higher authorities, we have already framed the standard operating procedure for teacher guardian scheme, and we have also circulated to all the heads of the department. And we have also added one component in the academic calendar, that is the review of teacher guardian activities, then continuous assessment and transparent evaluation, then NBA and NAC documentation and quality compliance as and when required from the higher authorities or deemed quality assurance. Then student interaction, internship, research and innovation that plays a vital role. This role that is assigned to deem uh, research and development and innovation. The use of ICT tools, LMS and AI enabled teaching learning practices depending upon the depth of that particular course and availability of the various tools through virtual platform. Then maintaining discipline, punctuality and professional ethics, that is also important. Now, as I said earlier, my dear faculty members, we need to understand the learning cycle. As I said earlier, learning is a continuous cyclic process. So in that, the first step, that is thinking, then second one, acting, then experiencing and then reflecting. So the various reputed institutes are nowadays following the advanced pedagogy for the teaching learning process, that is learning by doing. Learning by doing means students actively engage in new experience. For example, lab experiments, workshop, field activity, live industrial projects, like that. Then the second one, learning by reflecting, means student reviews and reflect on the experience, identify what worked and what did not, and encourage or motivate the students for critical thinking, out of box thinking. That is nothing but the learning by reflecting. You should also ask the various questions during your day-to-day teaching learning process. The next one, learning by thinking, that is covered in the seminar, project, internship, then live industrial projects. That is nothing but formation of the theories, concepts, models, connecting experience with the academic knowledge. For example, driving principles, formulas, or framework. And the last one, learning by applying, means applying learned concept in real life situation to achieve the PO number 11, that is lifelong learning. Testing ideas through project simulation or case studies. So in short, learning style integrates in the cycle like creative thinking, idea generation, logical understanding, theoretical models making, problem solving, acquiring problem solving skills, practical application skills, hands-on training, trial and error proof learning, that is also called as in industry language, that is FOCA. So what are the various key takeaways of learning cycle? As I said just now, that is learning is a continuous cyclic process. Effective curriculum integrates all four stages, like that is learning by doing, learning by reflecting, learning by thinking, learning by applying, to promote experiential student-centric learning aligned with NEP 2020 and outcome-based education. Now, we need to understand these supporting slow learners and advanced learners. So there should be some systematic identification methodology that we need to follow for identification of weak and bright students. For that, data-driven identification of the student based on academic performance and faculty observations plays a vital role. So what do you know from the term slow learners? Slow learners means students who scores less than 50% marks in ISC or in set exam, and that we are termed as slow learners. Advanced or fast learners means students who are scoring above 80% mark or among the top 10 of the class. And what are the faculty inputs which are required for slow and the bright learners or the advanced learner are laboratory performance, then VIVOS examinations, assignments submission, classroom participation, active classroom participation, and problem solving skill abilities. Then also appropriate remedial support. Whether my slide is visible? Yes, okay. Then appropriate remedial support for slow learners and enrichment activities for advanced learners. Then the second point, that is support methodologies for slow learners. The focus here is on bridging the gap between current performance and passing standard. So here targeted remedial sessions, extra classes, extra hours dedication to solving must know questions and clearing the fundamental doubts from the syllabus. Mentor to mentee teacher guardian scheme. This teacher guardian scheme plays a vital role in teaching learning process to achieve the academic and administrative excellence. So one-on-one meeting to identify if struggle is due to academic difficulty, language barriers, or personal stress. Then simplified resource kits means what? Providing question banks, summarized notes, and step-by-step solved examples from previous university papers, end semester examinations of our own institutes, and the next one, peer assisted learning. This is very, very important for weak students and as well as the bright students. Means students will work in a pairs. So they can help each other, understand the lessons, understand the concept, understand the difficulty of the course, and complete their assignments together. Then the third point, enrichment methodology for advanced learners. For high achieving students, means students who are bright, who are scoring more than 80% marks, the institute provides vertical growth opportunity to prepare them for industry leadership or higher research. That is skill certification and gateways, the NPTEL courses, then the special coaching for competitive exams like GATE, then high impact competitions, participation in various international hackathon competitions, project competitions like that. Then the civil and electrical engineering students, national design challenges, solar car, bridge design, smart grid design competitions like that. Mechanical engineering students, SE was Supra competitions like that. Then enrichment methodology for advanced learner, that is professional body engagement. We do have the various professional bodies at various departments, that is student association, active membership like IEEE, then ASME, student chapters to build networking and leadership skills like that. Then research and innovation, assigning advanced students as a research assistant for faculty to lead the projects. Then encouraging or demotivating the students for publication of the papers in reputed journals, presenting their research work at technical conferences, whether that is national or international. Then departmental leadership, involvement in editorial board for department newsletter, that is news magazine, or leading technical committees for annual first, that is annual gathering. In short, this table highlights the identification of the slow learners, fast learners, primary action and goal as well. Now, as per the directives received from the higher authority, this year onwards, we are implementing teacher guardian scheme in true sense. Therefore, I request all the faculty members to take note of this. The purpose of this teacher guardian scheme is that the teacher guardian is a structural mentoring system established to provide academic guidance, personal support, career counseling, and overall development opportunities to the students. The scheme aims to create a strong mentor-mentee relationship and ensure continuous monitoring, guidance, and support for the students throughout their academic journey at our institute. So we have also tried to define the certain objectives for TGS. The first one, to provide academic guidance and the mentoring to the students. Second, to monitor student academic performance and attendance. Then to identify and address academic, personal, social, emotional, and financial challenges faced by the students in day-to-day activities. To encourage participation in co-curricular, curricular, and extracurricular activities. Then next, to provide career guidance and support for higher education opportunities. Then to next one, that is to improve communication among students, faculty members, parents, and the institute. Then to enhance student retention, progression, and employability. Then next, to foster ethical values, discipline, leadership qualities, and professional behavior among the students. And last one, to promote holistic development and overall well-being of the students. This is the organizational structure that is related to the teacher guiding scheme. At the top, director, then dean academics, central coordinator is there. Our TGS central coordinator is Dr. D.V. Nete from Mechanical Engineering Department. Then head of the department, teacher guardian, and then the students' various batches. Then we need to understand what are the roles and responsibilities of a teacher guardian scheme mentor. So here our main motto is mentoring the minds and shaping the future. So the first one, that is related to the career guidance, guide the students regarding the higher education opportunities, assist students in career planning and skill development, motivate participation in placement, preparation and activities, motivate students to pursue professional certification and competitive examinations, encourage entrepreneurship, innovation and research activities. Then second one, that is related to infrastructure, facilities and support, collect student feedback regarding classrooms, laboratories, library, internet and other facilities that is related to the classroom and the others. Then identify and report infrastructure related issues to the concerned authorities, means head of the department and the higher authorities from time to time. Follow up on reported issues and inform student about the status. Assist in creating a safe, clean and condensed environment for teaching learning process. Facilitate timely resolution of student concern related to academic campus infrastructure. My dear faculty members, teachers, that is a closed loop system. It should not be open loop system. Please try to understand it. Then parent interaction, communicate with the parents whenever necessary, inform parents regarding the academic progress, attendance and behavioral concerns, if any, encourage constructive parent involvement in student development, organize meeting with the parents. Then documentation, this is again very important part of TGS system. Maintain mentoring records and student profiles, record mentoring interaction and action taken reports, submit reports as per prescribed schedule to HOD and then through to Dean Academics and Director Office. This year also we have devised a revised mechanism for teacher guardian scheme. So in this monthly review, that the responsibility that is assigned to teacher guardian, department teachers coordinator and head of the department, timeline every month. Then semester review, department teachers coordinator, head of the department at the end of each semester. Then institute level review, head of the department, central coordinator once every semester. Academic review meeting Dean Academics with Central Coordinator and heads of the department and department TGS coordinators. Two meetings will be conducted per semester. The directors review meeting, directors with Dean Academics, Central Coordinator and heads of the department and department TGS coordinator, one meeting in a semester. Then what are its expected outcome? That is very, very important. Means implementation of teacher guidance scheme is expected to result in improved academic performance, better student engagement and participation, improved attendance and discipline, enhanced communication among students, faculty members and parents, increased participation in skill development, professional activities, then better career readiness and employability, then holistic development of the students, early identification and timely resolution of academic, personal and behavioral concerns if any, improved student satisfaction and retention. So in short, TGS mentor acts not only as an academic guide but also as a mentor, counselor, facilitator, communicator and institutional support coordinator, contributing to the overall academic, personal and professional development of the students. So as we commence this new academic session, let us renew our commitment to excellence in teaching, learning and student development. The success of our institution is built on our dedication, discipline, collaboration and unwavering focus on student success. Let us adopt innovative teaching practices, mentor our students with empathy, uphold academic integrity, and actively contribute to research, quality initiatives, and industry engagement. Every lecture we deliver, every student we mentor, and every responsibility we undertake creates lasting impact on the future of our students and our institution. Because please remember that learning is a continuous cyclic process. Every student has a talent, but it is the job of teacher to teach how to teach. I am confident that through our collective efforts and shared vision, we will make this semester and a year benchmark of academic excellence, innovation, and holistic development of the students. Thank you for your continued commitment and support. I wish each one of you a productive, rewarding, and successful academic session. Together we teach, together we inspire, together we excel. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your comprehensive and insightful briefing. Your guidance certainly has provided clear roadmap for all departments. We are grateful for your valuable directions. As we embark to a new academic journey, we eagerly look forward to the inspiring words, strategic direction, and valuable guidance that will motivate us to begin the academic year 2026-27 with a renewed enthusiasm and dedication. So may I now request our Honorable Director, Sir, Dr. Nilesh Patil, Sir, to kindly deliver the presidential address.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon, sir.
Am I
Please.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So, very good afternoon to all faculty members who have entered in this room for this meeting. This is very important meeting. At the outset, I appreciate the presentation and a detailed, comprehensive guidance that has been provided by Professor Dr. Ashok Keche, Dean of Academics. Sir. And I have a few things to discuss with you, to talk to you. I know that most of the things are covered by Dr. Keche. He started with academic excellence. He talked about outcome-based education. He explained in detail what is the role of a teacher. He explained in detail Bloom's taxonomy, industry connection, how he also explained how students should be encouraged for GATE, other activities, research.
So you're not audible.
Ma'am, here is a power failure, maybe. Due to that, sir may have got disconnected.
Sir will be joining within few minutes.
Okay. So there was power cut at my end. So am I audible, madam, now?
Yes,
Rashmita,
sir.
madam?
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I have a few things which I believe that are most important when you commence the new academic year, new academic semester. We have to always remind ourselves, especially with the core value of the institute, the core value of any education system, that student is always at the center. So all the activities that we have been undertaking on the campus or even beyond the campus should be aligned with this core value that student is at the center. In that context, I would like to throw some light on what I expect from all of you in the teaching learning process. So number one is I'm sure that you have prepared thoroughly your subject, your courses, so that you can start your teaching learning process right from Monday. If you have some doubts, some difficulties, please get it clear, because whenever you enter into the classroom, the first and foremost important thing you should have is sound knowledge of the subject, very good clarity of the concept, and which happens only after preparing for the subject. Uh, I remember when I started my teaching in 1996, uh, I used to I used to study every day, even after all my notes were ready during the vacation period. But during that time, I used to wake up at 3:30 a.m. in the morning whenever there was a lecture on the day. That point of time, we were only having 4 theory lectures and all others were practicals, total 16 to 18 hours. So for one lecture, we were preparing at least 2 to 3 hours. I'm sure that you might be doing the same thing, but I am here to remind you that you must be well prepared before entering into the classroom. Second point is now we are using technology. We might be sharing some videos, we might be using PowerPoint presentations to teach our students. See, remember that the objective of the teaching process is learning of the student. So our focus should be learning of the student. The learning of the student should be appropriate. So in that context, there is one saying that when it becomes easy, it is more difficult. Because it happens many times that we have a PowerPoint presentation, we have all bulleted point on few slides, and we do not explain it in the classroom. So here I have one warning to all of you as a teacher, because being a teacher, I know that although you are presenting it on the PowerPoint, appropriate explanation is essential. and most importantly, your understanding to explain that appropriately is very important. You should see that appropriate examples are shared which are very relevant to that particular subject. At this point of time, I'm not giving you examples of this, but I'm sure that Dr. Keche and we will be coming to all the departments, maybe weekly or fortnightly, and we will be having separate meetings with all the teachers of all the department separately. At that point of time, we will discuss these things in detail. So use of PPT, video, or any technology should be with utmost care. It is not the replacement or it is not the alternative to a teacher. It is the aid which we are going to employ for the purpose of making learning of the student. Third important point I want to state here is I have observed in recent years that students are not asking questions in the classroom. I think if my student is not asking question to me, it is my failure. So please see that your students ask you questions, and for that you have to use appropriate pedagogy which will encourage them to ask questions, which will create questions, queries in their mind. So use appropriate pedagogy. Use of appropriate pedagogy is essential for your students to ask the questions. For this also, it is very important that a teacher must be very honest, and we should, even if we don't know the answer in the classroom, tell the student that we will try to find out the answer. And always remember that a teacher is not knowing everything, but at the same time, teacher should be open to learn even from his or her student. I personally have experienced these things from my students with whom we were doing projects for many years. The fresh students, the young generation, they are always coming with very fresh air and very fresh way of thinking. So that will help us to become a better teacher. So do not discourage students from asking questions, and do not take it personally if a student asks you a question in the classroom. Let it not be a clash of egos between a teacher and student. Always remember that we are here to facilitate the learning of the student. So let's be honest with ourselves as a teacher first, and let the student ask the questions. Uh, I have also observed in recent years that the quality of interaction, not only in the classroom but also beyond classroom, the interaction between the student and the teacher uh, is not as appropriate as we have been experiencing, say 10 years back or even earlier. That might be attributed to the changing scenario in the society as well. But always remember that we should be interacting with our student with utmost care. Just just see the student as your elder brother, as your elder sister, sorry, younger sister or younger brother, or even uh, your son or daughter. It depends on at what age you are now. So treat them in such a way that they are from your family, because we never know through what kind of struggle, through what kind of circumstances the student is passing through. So reacting to the student because of his way of interacting with you inappropriately is not going to be appreciated, and we will definitely see that a teacher who is interacting appropriately with empathy with the student will be recognized by the institute. A third point, third important point is you should adhere the schedule, especially the timeline. For example, if your class is going to start at 11 a.m., you should be there out of the classroom by 10:55 a.m., 5 minutes before, and you should not leave the class after after the class is end. Means, for example, if your class is going to end by 12 o'clock, then you should not leave it before 12 o'clock. And you should not leave the students before the next teacher is ready outside the classroom. This is very important message for all of you, and this will be noted, this will be taken into account if someone leaves the class earlier, or if someone do not reach to his classroom or laboratory in time. So you should be there 5 minutes before, and you should not leave the class before the time is over. Then second thing is, again, it is very practical aspect that we make alternative arrangement when we go on leave. So I think it is the responsibility of individual teacher who is going on leave, and the teacher who is giving the alternative arrangement for that lecture or for that practical. So it must be conducted, it must be appropriately engaged, and the head of the department should ensure that all alternative arrangements are well taken care of, even if some teacher is absent, or some teacher has taken leave prior with some alternative arrangement. So there is not going to be any excuse as far as alternative arrangement is not taken care of. Then next point is again laboratory experiment. Dr. Keche has talked about it. Uh, and second is GATE also. GATE also Dr. Keche has talked about it. Try to see that if you are teaching mathematics, then see that you take the GATE questions for mathematics, and you see that your students are practicing it during this semester only, which is relevant to that particular course or subject, and encourage that your students prepare for GATE. I think if someone prepare for GATE, he or she will automatically get through the degree program, and he will be able to make a good career. So these were the points which I wanted to talk to you. And the last point, I think, one more point is there. This may not be uh, done by all the faculty members, but you just keep it in mind that you have to do it at some or other one or other point of time, that is industry connect. Now we are inducting professor of practice, assistant professor of practice, and associate professor of practice. If you know someone which is connected with you, if you know someone who is good in one or the other area of your subject, you can identify the person, you can submit the CV or the details of the person to your head of the department, and based on that, your head of the department can propose that this or the persons from industry can be invited on the campus for the teaching of the student, or for the project related work, and so on. So remember that as the things are changing very rapidly, it is essential not only for academia but also for industry to be in partnership with each other. And the purpose, we have been talking about industry institute partnership for so many years, but very small success has happened in the past. But now we have entered into a time frame, uh, or in the regime of time, where both the parties, industry as well as academia, have no option than to get collaborated with industry or get collaborated with academia. And academia cannot get connected with industry without all the teachers are getting connected with the industry. It is not the job of training and placement officer only. It is not the role of head of the department only. It is not possible that only few 10 or 15 people go to industry and connect with the industry. So see that in whatever domain you are working as a teacher, see that you are connected, you get connected to at least one industry of your interest, one industry where you think that your students can be placed, your student can be provided some project, some internship. I think that kind of, we have 300 people on campus as faculty, more than 300. Just imagine that we are connected to 300 industries through one teacher connected to one industry and doing project, or making something happen for the internship of the student or inviting someone from industry. Just imagine how vibrant the campus will be, and you will be contributing a great work. This will also help you to grow as a teacher, to grow as a faculty of a particular domain, and which will make your career also a very good career. So for the same purpose, in the last semester, we have come up with faculty in plant training, and I'm happy to share that some of the faculty members from electrical engineering department, they have done 1 week internship in some of the companies. So I encourage all the faculty members to plan for next semester, so that during the next semester, before the beginning of the next semester, you can go to the company and stay there for say 1 week, or uh, maybe less than 1 week, but that is going to help you in long term. So second thing is that we have also uh, taken a new step, that there was one circular about participation in the MSFDA faculty development programs. So we have received some schedule from all the departments. So I once again inform all the faculty members that take advantage of this provision that we have made, and see that before the beginning of the next year, all of you undergo the MSFDA faculty development uh, program, whichever is applicable to your domain, or even generic, maybe assessment, curriculum design, or there are some generic programs, there are some domain specific programs. Once again, if you have not done it, please see that you take advantage of this, because this is going to help it in long term. And if I personally believe that if my faculty are developed, my students will become more capable. And if my students are becoming more capable, I believe that the institute will reach to the next heights. And at the beginning of this semester, which is going to be start from 13th of July, I wish you all the best, and I'm sure that you all will contribute to the greatest of your capabilities, and at the same time, you will also see that your capabilities are improved, so that you become a better person before the beginning of the next semester. And as Dr. Keche has told, we are a team, and we work in a team, because I am a person who believes in team and not in groups. I have always told in many of the meetings that in many of the meetings that uh, there is one saying that win-win. Huh? So always remember that if you win, I'm going to win. If I win, you're going to win. If your colleagues are winning, then only you are going to win. Any one of us, if any one of us is losing, then all of us are losing. So let's be a part of a team which is working for winning of the organization, for winning of the student, and for winning of all of us. So I once again wish you all the best. And as Dr. Keche has told, that we are looking forward to some new benchmark as far as academic excellence and the overall cultural change, as far as the interaction with the student, discipline, and many more things. So thank you very much. And I would like to thank all of you for joining here, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the inspiring and thought-provoking words, sir. On behalf of everybody present, we sincerely express our gratitude to your for your constant support and encouragement and inspiring leadership, sir. We shall work with dedication, commitment, and excellence to make the academic 2026-27 a grand success. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.